Welcome back to another video. This time we're in race number 4. It's been a decent start to the season. I mean, consistency is key. First 3 races, or especially the last 2, we've been getting strong points. I mean, the last race, we won the Blimmin' Grand Prix, so it's going well. 1 race win in the first 3 races, 51 points. Mercedes on 58, Red Bull on 71, and Ferrari out front in 104. Shows that we're in that hunt. We're in that hunt for the top 3. We finished 4th in the Constructors 2 years in a row, so we really want to get into that top 3 now. You can see Gazzy, he's had a fantastic start with 39 points, currently 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. So we're hoping to continue this form, and upgrades are coming in thick and fast. As you can see on the right-hand side, we've got the rear wing manufacturing complete, so that will be on the car. I don't know if we had it last race or not, but we're going to keep working on these upgrades to see if we can get more and more coming in. We actually decided to change it, do side pod research instead of the front wing. Reason for this is because as soon as the next ATR period starts, which will be in about 10 days or so, we're going to start designing a big front wing upgrade for our car this season to get it on the car. But Imola, I think it's going to be a good track for us. Now, you have a look at the rank on the grid. It doesn't really do us many favors, you know, 11th, 7th, 5th, whatever. But our drivers seem to be outperforming the car, and you can see the high-speed cornering. It is crucial for this circuit, and we're very good around there. So I'm feeling maybe another strong finish, 7th, 8th, hopefully, and push it into that top 6 will definitely be a possibility around here. All right, so Verstappen taking P1. You can see him and the Red Bulls and the Ferraris are pretty close. We're not too far off the Mercedes, especially with Pierre Gasly, just over a 10th in it, and we didn't go out for a second run like every other car did. McLaren of Lewis Hamilton's a little bit further up there. I think Gasly got held up on his lap, which has put him in a bit of a predicament here. He's down in P13. He needs to put in a solid lap to make sure he gets out. No mistakes from him. Magnussen is not safe either. He's ahead of both Alpha Tauris, but I think other drivers have been held up as well. Maybe the Alfa Romeos and Lando Norris. Alonso also looks like he's been held up, so we could be out in Q2 if we don't get some good laps in. Gasly is improving, so is Kevin Magnussen. They're both improved in the first 2 sectors, so I think we should be okay. I think Kevin Magnussen is good. It's Pierre Gasly that needs to put in a lap as he comes across the line. I'm pretty confident he's going to do it. He hasn't let us down much in that Haas car. He goes up to P7, Magnussen in P8. Now, if we finish there in Q3, which is likely we are, I will be happy with that, because then we can fight with the Mercedes. If we can maybe split the Mercedes, that would be very good as well. All right, we're sending our drivers out on their final laps now. Did we get Magnussen out in time? This might be pretty close for K-Mag. I think he is okay. All right, so we get to see what everybody else does as they come across the line. Gasly's about half a lap ahead of Magnussen. Magnussen not improving in the first sector, but Gasly is. They do pretty much similar sector times in sector 1. So Magnussen must have put out an absolute worldie in the first time around. But Gasly is currently P7. Bottas managing to improve. Can he somehow split the Mercedes drivers? He needs to find just over a 10th in order to do that. If he wants to find a 10th and a half, he'll go up to P5. Would absolutely love that, but I'm not sure that is possible. Magnussen improves in the middle sector. Gasly does even better, and he's actually coming up to the line as we speak. So Pierre Gasly crosses the line. He does go faster, but he can't improve on P7. We're expecting Magnussen now to round the last couple of corners and put his car up ahead of Guan Yu Zhou into P8. A P7 and a P8 start would be pretty nice around here, and it would be kind of expected, but we miss out by 1/1000th. He's starting P9 behind Guan Yu Zhou. Oh, that's a bit of a failure for Kevin Magnussen. So he's a little off it compared to Pierre Gasly. Oh my god, it's actually the exact same time. So it's because he did it later. But Kevin Magnussen missing out on P8. Ugh, that's disappointing. All right, what do we do? Do we go for the 2-stop strategy? Do we go for the 1-stop? It looks like it is the 1-stop is the better strategy. Hards to softs potentially, or mediums to hards? I think we go mediums to hards for Gasly, to be sure. Maybe we go hards to softs with Magnussen, and we be a little cautious on that first stint to try and make it work. I reckon, why not? We've got a fresh set of softs. Why not give that a go? So we'll do something different for Magnussen, but we're going to keep it mediums to hards for Gasly. Let him push a little bit on those mediums. Give him a little bit of wiggle room. And for Magnussen, we're going to go something different. See if that will work. We're doing 1-stop for both drivers. 2-stop, I think, would take too long. It's not supposed to rain, so it's going to be a dry race. So let's see what we can do. Starting P7 and P9 on the grid. If Magnussen can get ahead of Guan Yu Zhou right off the start. That'll be very, very helpful for his race. He actually gets a decent start. He's already alongside the AlphaTauri driver, about half a car length, but then he loses out in the second phase. So that is a little bit frustrating. If we could have got past him, that would have been really crucial for our race. Gazzy, on the other hand, he's having a go at George Russell, who's on the hard tyres. So we've got Sainz on the hards, Russell on the hards, everybody else on the mediums until you get down to the bottom 6, and you've got a couple of drivers on the softs. Well, you've got a few guys on the hards. You've got Zhou on the hards as well. But so a bit of a mixed tyre strategy for everybody. The guys on the softs, I'm assuming they're committing to a two-stop strategy. Look at that move around the outside to the inside for Pierre Gasly as he looks at a move around the outside of Valtteri Bottas now. He's getting feisty early doors. So a good start from Gasly. Let's try not to use up too much ERS as he's looking for another move. But we're going to sit behind Bottas for now. And Magnussen got past Guan Yu Zhou. So good start for our two drivers. We'll have to push like crazy for Magnussen just to stay with these front runners. I think he's actually going to drop out of it. What we might do is let Hamilton pass and then have Hamilton try and drag us along. But I think we've lost out to DRS. If we have lost out, yes, we have. So we're just going to basically let Hamilton pass. I think either way, he's going to breeze past us. So that's Hamilton flying past Kevin Magnussen. But now all you got to do is stay with Lewis Hamilton. You stay with Lewis Hamilton, who is on a set of medium tyres. He can help us try and catch up to the front 6, but we cannot lose track of Hamilton. We've got a nice gap behind to Guan Yu Zhou, which is going to help us. Gasly going very strong with the front runners. As you can see, Leclerc and Verstappen basically pulling away. But if Gasly stays with them, he has a potential for a podium because he does look pretty quick. Although Sainz is the leader of that and he is on the hard tyres. Oh, Russell's locked up. I didn't even notice. So Russell's locked up and he's dropped now behind, or he was behind Gasly, but he's dropped even further. So he's locked up going across the chicane and he's had to slow down as he's come back on. So he's lost 3 seconds. That is good news. That might put him close enough in striking distance for potentially Russell when he goes onto the soft tyres, and it gives Gasly a bit of breathing room for Gasly to finish in that top 6. And if he could outscore both Mercedes, that would be very, very good because that's the team that we're going to be mostly fighting in the Constructors this year, based on the looks of things right now. But Gasly, he is still with a shout for a podium. He's in this little train. You've got Bottas on the mediums, Perez on the mediums, Gasly on the mediums, Sainz on the hards, and with no threat from behind now, the only way is forward as long as we don't make mistakes. All right, pit stops. Bottas and Perez is in. They're saying it's the optimal pit stop for Pierre Gasly. I think we're going to try and go a little bit longer. If we go a little bit longer, we've still got decent tyres. If we go a little bit longer, then we'll have better tyres towards the end of the race. Won't really have to worry about saving them. I'm more interested to see where they come out. So Bottas and Perez, they do come out in clear air. Verstappen does not. But I don't think we'll get close enough to him. So Bottas and Perez in clear air. So they should breeze away. If Sainz comes in, then we're going to go full attack and then come in the lap after. So we're trying to time this perfectly. Hamilton must have came in as well. Yes, because Magnussen is free by himself. But we're going to try and run a little bit longer for both drivers. Let's see what Carlos Sainz does. He's probably staying out because Leclerc's in the pit. And we have still got that DRS. So we're going to pull right up behind. And we're going to go a little bit longer than everybody else. I'll tell you what, we're going to go full attack here. We're going to come in the next lap. So we're going to go full attack. I think Sainz is going to come in now. No, he stays out. So we're going to try and overtake Carlos Sainz with the DRS. See you later. This lap, we are coming in. So we've got ahead of the Ferrari driver, which is very good news. Now we put on the hards, and we should come out ahead of him as long as he doesn't pit. I think he's on the hards. Yeah, so he's going to stay out a little bit longer. So, I mean, another option is potentially we just trade DRS with him. But I think we need to come in now, try and get out ahead of Bottas and Perez, or try and get it out ahead of Perez, I think is a possibility. So we're deploying all our ERS, going full attack mode on the medium tyres. There is a potential that we come out ahead of Sergio Perez here. I'm not sure about Bottas, but Sergio Perez is certainly a possibility. Into the pits we come. So we need a good pit stop from our pit crew as we trundle all the way down to the back of the pit lane. We're going to ride on board with Perez. Gasly's got the fastest lap from coming into the pits. So it was some bloody in-lap, that was. I'll tell you what, do we come out ahead of Valtteri Bottas here? This is going to be awfully close. So out of the pits comes Pierre Gasly. Bottas coming out to the end. He's got ahead of both of them. Pierre Gasly, he's putting an unbelievable in-lap. See you later. Goes onto the grass and gives the position back to Bottas. What are you doing? What are you doing, mate? Oh, I'll tell you what. They're going side by side, but Bottas has got ahead. But at least we're ahead of Perez. So we're just going to sit behind, and hopefully we'll be able to attack Bottas later on. I'm not sure if cold tyres are a thing in this, but if it is, we've got to start warming up these tyres quick because Perez is all over the back of us. But I think we're okay. Tell you what, we've come up to a train of cars here. This is going to help Sainz and Russell big time. We've got 3 cars in the way. Potentially a couple more up the road. This is not helping us at all. We need to get past these cars as soon as possible. I don't know when they're going to pit. They're not going to pit for a little while yet. So we've got to try and find a way through. We have to try and find a way through. Come on, Bottas. You're the one in front. You've got to try and find a way past them first. Otherwise, we're all going to get held up by every single one of these cars. We've gone aggressive. We've got to try. We've got to find a way through. Maybe we should have stayed out in the mediums and done a long stint. Go on, go down the inside. Yes, there we go. There's a bit of bravery. Down the inside we go off the Mercedes, but we've lost out again. Is he going to go for it again? Yes, he is. Come on, make it stick, Pierre. Make it stick. He's going side by side still with the Mercedes. Get past the Alpine and you give yourself a bit of breathing room, but we're ahead of Valtteri Bottas. That's a move for a man who's going to get onto the podium today in Imola. We've got to go for it. We have to go for it. These drivers aren't coming into the pits anytime soon. We don't have ERS to play with, though. That is the only problem. Can we go for a move now on the Alpine of Alonso and then get past Zhou and then get past Ricciardo? And then we'll have Albon in the way as well. But we've got to get a good exit here. Potentially, we could get past one of them. We have to get past one of them. We're on fresher tyres. Around the outside, it turns to a double inside corner. And there we go. Up past the Alpine we go. Get past the AlphaTauri. Then we could get going as they're going to slow up all the drivers behind. Bottas can't get through. Perez can't get through. But we're running side by side with the AlphaTauri. We're braking later on these newer tyres. I tell you what, this should be a move on the AlphaTauri of the Alfa Romeo of Daniel Ricciardo, but we're gonna have to wait a lap. We're gonna have to wait a lap. We're gonna get this move done very, very soon. Tell you what, we don't have too much ERS, but we've got to get this. We've got to get this done. This is the way we get a podium. This right here. We have to get through these cars. Sainz is absolutely loving this. Russell is absolutely loving this. But I'll tell you who isn't. Bottas and Perez. Let's go for another move. Around the outside at the chicane. We've got the move done. What a move that is. I'll tell you what, though. That might not be too good. We might have timed that really poor because Ricciardo's going to get DRS on us and he's going to breeze right back past us, isn't he? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not great timing. Hold him off. Hold him off. Hold him off. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Beautiful straight line speed. Who said we didn't have straight line speed? See you later, Danny Rick. We've got eyes on Alex Albon. Potential podium is a huge possibility now, as Perez and Bottas are still stuck behind those trainer cars. All right, we've got 20 laps to go. Gasly's coming onto the back of Magnussen. He's done a strong stint on those hards. He's going to be onto the softs probably within the next 5 laps or so. Once Gasly gets on the back of Magnussen, we're just going to tell him to switch over. But it is looking good for Gasly in for a podium position. He's 4 seconds ahead of Valtteri Bottas. And Magnussen isn't going to make it very hard for him. We're going to tell him, don't fight, teammate. Should be a nice little switcheroo down the straight. See you later. Gasly is on his way. So perfect. Magnussen plays the team game. And Gasly is still on for a podium. But we've got to wait to see where Sainz and Russell are going to come out when they put on the soft tyres. Because they're doing the same exact strategy as Magnussen. But they are much, much further up the road. I'll tell you what, Magnussen, if you want to hold up Valtteri Bottas just for a little bit, just to help us out, that'll be very good. We're going to see if he could do something of the sorts. I mean, Bottas gets past him pretty quick, but maybe he did something. So, Bottas getting past Magnussen, but there is a 4.7 second gap. I think that's enough. I think that's enough for Pierre Gasly, but there's a crash on the track. Either of my drivers? No. Is it a safety car? Doesn't look like it. If it was, it would have been absolutely perfect for Magnussen. Sainz and Russell now into the pits. It was Sebastian Vettel who crashed. What sort of tyres are they putting on? I'm assuming it's the softs, considering how long they went out. Gasly comes out ahead of Carlos Sainz, who is Bottas going to get ahead of him? That's the question. Sainz out of the pits. Bottas, he's going to go... Are they going to go side by side? No, Bottas breezes past. Sainz is on the softs. Bottas gets ahead. That could help us a lot because Sainz is going to be very, very quick. So Gasly has a chance for a podium. He's got 4.5 second gap to Bottas, who's going to be fighting with Carlos Sainz. Magnussen in P6. We're going to bring him in onto the soft tyres now, or at the end of this lap at least. And hopefully we could get... I mean, what... He's going to go on a fresh new set of softs, which is going to work perfect. I'm not sure where he could get, but he should be able to score in the points. I think he's going to come out just ahead of Guan Yu Zhou, so he'll be in P11. But Ghazi, on the other hand, it is looking very, very good for a podium finish for him, as Sainz gets through on Bottas already. All right, maybe I think Sainz might catch us, but a P4, a top 4 finish for Ghazi is looking very possible. Potentially a podium, but we have to see how much Bottas and Sainz battle, as they are still battling against each other right now. Magnussen comes out in P10. I think he came out in P11, but he got past Guan Yu Zhou very, very quick. Get on those tyres. Push like crazy. You got 13 laps. I reckon Magnussen could potentially... He's got to be able to catch up, hopefully, to Hamilton. But maybe that might be too much to ask. But he should be lightning quick. Lightning quick on those softs. But he's got Guan Yu Zhou on the softs behind him, and just not leaving him alone. This is not going to help. You've got to get away. You've got to... Zhou's past him. Oh my days. Oh my days. You've got to get past Guan Yu Zhou. You have to get past Guan Yu Zhou. There we go. Down the inside. Alright, you've got to pull away. You have to pull away from the AlphaTauri. If he's going to get in your way and you two are going to keep trading positions, which is going on right now, it's going to absolutely hinder our race. It's ruining our race. You've got to push. You've got to get away. Oh my god. The AlphaTauri is going to breeze back past. I'm telling you. The AlphaTauri is going to breeze back past down this straight with DRS. Hold him off. Hold him off down this straight and you can get away. Okay. Now you got to get away. You have to get away from the AlphaTauri, K-Mag. You have to. This is for your race. To catch up to the 2 McLaren drivers, you have to do it. 2 McLaren drivers on the hard compound tyre. We can catch up to them, but we need to break away from Guan Yu Zhou. The longer he stays in the DRS, the longer it's going to screw us over. And I tell you what, only 6/10 of a gap. It needs to be a lot bigger than that. It needs to be a whole second. It's not going to work. I'll tell you what, we're going to have to just let him past, save up some ERS, and then try again. Because at this rate, we're not going to catch anybody if we're fighting the AlphaTauri. We'll go a couple laps behind him, and this time we're going to go for the move. So, I mean, this has basically screwed up our race. We're going to go for the move this time. Verstappen's ran wide. Hasn't affected Ghazi. Ghazi has lost a place to Carlos Sainz. I didn't actually see that happening. But Sainz is going to be too fast. The main objective is stay ahead of Valtteri Bottas. There goes Magnussen on the AlphaTauri. Now you get away. Now you break free. He's already built a 6/10 gap, 7/10 gap. We're deploying all our ERS. Should breeze away now. That's a little frustrating that a blooming AlphaTauri is hanging with us and ruining our race. But we could potentially catch up to the McLarens and hopefully get that 8th place finish. Ghazi, on the other hand, needs to make sure he stays away from Valtteri Bottas. How has he caught back up? How has he done that? We're not catching the McLarens. We're fighting an AlphaTauri for P10. We've had an absolute nightmare. Maybe the soft tyres wasn't the way to do it. Ghazi, on the other hand, he's doing a great job. He's looking at finishing P4. Magnussen just can't pull away from a blimmin' AlphaTauri, who's going to probably overtake us very, very soon. We've got to save up some ERS, save some fuel. Oh my god, they've broken away. He's broken away. We've actually got to push. We might not finish in the points here. Why? He can't catch the AlphaTauri. We've got full deployment on ERS. We're going aggressive on the tyres. The same tyre wear for Guan Yu Zhou, for goodness sake. How is he pulling away? We're not going to score a single point with Magnussen at this rate. Ghazi's going to score points, thankfully. We'll score big points for the team. Magnussen might not even score a single point. I don't know what's going on. Did he even get DRS? He must have. He's pulling in at a rapid rate. You've only got a couple more laps to make the move. You've got to push. You've got to try and make the move. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it. We've got to harvest some ERS to try and do it. Ghazi is safe. Magnussen might not score a single point. Oh my god, Albon's making a move. I didn't even realise that. How have we bottled this? How has Kevin Magnussen bottled this so bad? He has absolutely no pace. The AlphaTauri is quicker than them. I don't get it. I don't get it. Unless they squabble between themselves, Magnussen's not scoring a point. He's not going to score a point. This is shambolic. This is absolutely shambolic. How much of a bottle job he has been. Is he going to make it to the end of the season at this rate with races like this? Your teammates finish in P4 and you can't even beat the AlphaTauris. You can't even score points. He hasn't made a single mistake all race. I don't get it. I'm lost. I am lost. I'm bamboozled. I am bamboozled. He's been outperformed by the AlphaTauris, who are fighting like crazy. We might even get overtaken by the blooming Alpine at this rate. We got to go for it in the final lap. We've got to push through everything. But Magnussen, he can't catch him. They're going side by side. Now he might be able to catch him and get that last final point. Doesn't look like it though. Alonso looks more likely to overtake Magnussen than Magnussen does on the Alpines. But here's some good news. Gasly's put in a stellar performance. He's going to come home and bring the car home in P4 and bring us big points, finishing ahead of both Mercedes drivers. Magnussen, on the other hand, is going to finish outside the points in P12. That is very, very disappointing. I'm devastated about that. I'll tell you what, he almost ran out of fuel there. He just didn't have the pace. He didn't have the pace compared to the AlphaTauris. I don't get it. His tyre wear was around the same as Guan Yu Zhou's, and he was losing out to Zhou, even though he had DRS. That raises concern. He was doing a good race before then. I thought he could catch a McLaren's. Couldn't even hold on to a podium, to a points position. Maybe it was my fault with the strategy, but it didn't look good. Didn't look good at all. Gasly, on the other hand, brings home 12 points for the team, and that is P4 in the in the drivers, so still top 4. 51 points compared to Kevin Magnussen's 12. You look at the constructors' battle. Ferrari are running away with 145, Red Bull with 97, Mercedes with 74, and kind of damage limitation with us with 63, with only one driver scoring inside the points. But you can see the 4 cars that are breaking away, and you can kind of see the order that it's in. Ferrari well out in front, Red Bull trying to make a challenge, and Mercedes and Haas going at it a little bit. Leclerc starting off well to secure that Drivers' Championship. I think Max Verstappen won it last season. But 2 wins to start the year for Charles Leclerc, winning here in Imola. So the Ferrari fans and the Italian fans would absolutely love that. But Kevin Magnussen, that is a cause for concern. I don't like that performance. That was a very, very poor performance. We can't judge him off this just one performance, but he didn't make a mistake, and he still didn't finish inside the points. That is worrying. That is very worrying. Regardless, we head to Miami next time around in 11 days. ATR period starts in 6 days, the new one. So we'll be able to start up a new front wing design upgrade and potentially close in on Mercedes with the upgrades. But a little disappointing for Kevin Magnussen. Solid race from Gasly. We didn't see much of him towards the end because we were focused on K-Mag. But yeah, we'll see what we can do in Miami. Make sure you go ahead, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.